Right here, Jalen and Jacoby, we've been big fans of yours, tracking you for a while. You've had a very interesting journey from high school to prep to Ohio U. Explain to the people that aren't familiar sort of what that process was like for you to get to this spot ready for the draft.
You want the whole thing?
Absolutely. Your entire journey, no doubt about it. The ups, the downs, your journey, my brother.
I got you.
I know you've overcome a lot. And I know how much this means to you. So please let the world know your journey and how you've overcome.
Yes, sir. So, I started playing basketball when I was 4 years old. Was always playing around the house. My mom was also, a big basketball junkie. She was one of her family members to move from Jamaica to the States. So I grew up in Orlando, Florida. Like I said, was always playing basketball, local rec centers, parks, my house. Like whenever I could, I was playing. And like I said, forward to all the way up to high school, I was always playing basketball whenever. And, freshman year, sophomore year in high school, I played on JV, had pretty good seasons there at JV, and then things, started to really change my junior year. Right before the start of that, my mother sadly passed away from lung cancer. There was a little falling out between, my side of the family and my stepdad. So lost that relationship a little bit. Then my cousin, my mom's sister's son, moved down from Jamaica to, come live with me in Orlando. I lived also with two other family friends to finish my high school career. And, it was tough at first, but, I had a great support system, and everybody who was in Jamaica, my aunt, uncle, cousins, and then obviously people who were living with me as well. Justin Morgan, Brian Whitaker, and Russell Whitaker, they were just very helpful for me at the time, and I'm very thankful for them. But, in terms of like basketball at that time, I'm not really playing a whole lot on varsity. I was really small, and on my JV years in high school, I was really just a shooter because, like I said, I was really small. I was coming off pin downs, and, I really tried to, I guess, add more things to my game, but, it didn't really, I guess, work out too much for me. And, people were telling me that I should, do other things, have a backup plan besides playing basketball. And I just really, really love basketball, so I want to do something else involved with it. So, I wrote about basketball. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fansided, the app.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
What's it called? I know, Jalen, I know you're a big Detroit Pistons fan.
Detroit basketball! And Tayshaun Prince is my guy, too. Tell him the story about that as well.
He's a journalist.
No, for sure. I love Tayshaun. Being skinny players, I loved watching them growing up. But if I couldn't play basketball, I wanted to stay within the game. So I figured I'd write about it, and I wrote a couple articles on Fansided about the Pistons, and I could voice my opinion on them, and it was something I really liked. I actually had a couple articles that go on Bleacher Report, so that was something I was gonna do. Like I said, through my high school career, I wasn't playing at all, wasn't doing anything, so I was committed to that. I was gonna go to the University of Central Florida, which is like 10 minutes away from my house. I graduated high school. I was already majored in journalism over there. I was taking summer classes. And then one day, one of my friends asked to go play in an AU tournament. And I was like, sure. He needed a fifth player. And I was like, sure, that'd be awesome. I get to play 40 minutes and stuff. It sounds fun. So tournament plays out, and I played really, really well. Played really well. We probably beat some teams we probably shouldn't have. And it was a really good two tournaments because it was one tournament after the other. I had some D2s reaching out to me and some low D1s. In fact, I was this close to going to a D2 in Lincoln Memorial, but a lot of them were talking about redshirting this year and possibly getting on a scholarship next year. Because, at this point, it's late July. The fall semester is about to start in 2 weeks. So none of them have a lot of scholarships at this point to offer. And a guy recommended I go prep school, basically like a fifth year of high school. I ended up following him there, and that was a crazy time in itself. There were about 70 kids there, 5 different teams. I've come to find out that's not like most prep schools, but I ended up bouncing around from team to team. At the end of the year, I eventually made it on the top team, and as that year finished, I realized I didn't have any film of myself. So I decided to, ask for the team iPad on one of our road trips back from a tournament. And I started screen recording all these clips of myself. And then I sent it over to one of my friends, and he puts it all together, makes a little 2-3 minute mix for me.
Wow.
The Believe Twitter page then posts it. And then I get DMs from Ohio and Longwood. And I ended up taking visits to both, got offers from both, and I ended up choosing Ohio.
That's crazy. The Believe page, shout to them as well. Shout to Rob and Troy, who got a podcast on that. So you go to Ohio University and you ball out in the NCAA tournament. What was that experience like for you?
No, it was amazing because, coming in my freshman year, we were second to last in the MAC. And me and one of my teammates who I had to my final year at Ohio, Ben Vanderplas, that was something we'd always talk about, just building the program, getting it where it needs to be, back to where it used to be at a Sweet 16 team. And, we were really big on that. So, to fast forward to junior year and for Ohio to get the national recognition, the school deserves, it's really, really humbling and awesome.
Well, you're now obviously eligible for the draft, and there's some people have you going late first round, mid first round, maybe second round.
Guard.
What teams have you been working out for? What teams have shown interest in you?
I worked out with 16 teams during this process. It was a long process, and I went to a lot of different cities. It was definitely a dream come true, just seeing the amount of cities I have and going that far out west. Like, I've never been farther than Ohio, so it was an unbelievable experience.
Well deserved. Looking forward to watching you get drafted, doing work in the league, and eventually having your own show like this one.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.